Everything is working correctly. In theory, we have ourselves a stream. Just trying to figure out why I can't see the chat is the only thing that I'm a little worried about. So I'm just giving this a second to see if I can get that to load. Because otherwise, this being live thing is going to be kind of weird. Might as well have just made a video. um, because I won't be able to shout out to any of you guys. Not sure. Oh, there we go. Should be up and at it now. There's Appa and Dr. Angel. Hello, guys. Welcome to the stream. There is, of course, Kaiba, our tuckered out little superhero. He uh he went to the park today again. He's been doing that a lot this week, wanting to go in the uh sprinkler system that they have there, the splash pad. I know we're really not supposed to let, our dogs go and play on that, but I mean, he's just so cute. And I always make sure that there's no kids around when we go and play on it, so if a kid shows up, I always make sure he gets off so the kids can have their turn. But he's really happy. And in the meantime, while he takes his little nap over there, we have some card stuff to do. I did want to set up the Kaiba cam tonight, but I'm just not enjoying how the webcam is looking lately for cards. So, tonight's episode is a big thing. We're doing for the first time ever live an episode of New Set versus Old Set versus Unset. So we've got the Unfinity and we've got the Brothers War. But I was actually going to let you guys have a little vote in the chat. We'll take like 5 minutes and do that real quick. As to which packs we open next for the new set. I wasn't able, unfortunately, to get the Final Fantasy packs like I had hoped this morning. I went to 3 different Walmarts, 2 card shops, plus my secret card shop that almost always has stuff, and even they've been sold out for a week, they told me. So we have a choice of. I did pick up a few Aether Drift because since I'm looking at possibly building Optimus Prime instead of building a 4-color Transformers deck, depending on whether or not I can get my hands on the Brea, I decided maybe it would be good to get some extra vehicles. So we could crack those, or we could crack some Tarkir. Um, I've been cracking a lot of Tarkir lately on the channel, so I thought maybe you guys might like a break from it, which is why I got the Aether Drift as well. But I mean, if you want to see how Tarkir matches up against these two, I'm always for it as well. Sold out of Final Fantasy. The play boosters, I don't buy the collector boosters of those ones. That's insanely costly, those ones for this set. But I figured I would be able to get like a few play boosters easily enough, but no dice. So yeah. If you want to do Aether Drift, let me know that in the chat with votes for that. I was going to try and put a vote in, but I don't know how to do that per se. See if the dots will let me? No. Good luck with that. I know, eh? No, my surprise hidden shop didn't have it. My surprise hidden shop that I don't name on the channel because I don't want people to go there and get all the good stuff and then I don't have things to open, has a lot of like the older packs. For example, today while I was there, I did get these Aether Drift packs, but I also got a couple extra Brothers War and I got a couple extra Kaldheim and 3 core 2021 packs. So lots of good stuff for opening at later dates. But for now, yeah, don't worry. I don't know how to put the poll up either. That's why I just figured if you want Aether Drift, just put an A in the chat. If you want Dragonstorm, just put a T, and we'll just open whichever one people vote for the most. Let's say by 7:40. The shop that I don't name. Um, the funny thing is they don't actually. I think they do like me because they don't specify. They're not like super good with magic stuff. Like they buy magic stuff, but they're not like that's not their principal thing. They're actually a sports card store primarily. So they've got lots of like football, hockey cards, things like that, but they don't have basically all their magic stuff is just kind of like leftover things that they have. Plus, when the new sets come out, they buy a minimal amount of the new sets just to keep it in stock because they know people will come in and buy it. But so they have like crazy amounts of things. Like the last live stream, we opened some Throne of Eldraine. I had a Commander Masters pack. Um, we had Dominaria, the original Dominaria. Like I say, Kaldheim, Zendikar Rising. What else have I opened on the channel recently? Dragon's Maze. I have no idea when Dragon's Maze is from. I've never even heard of Dragon's Maze, but I picked up the last 3 packs of Dragon's Maze that they had too. Still have one of those upstairs that I will be opening at some point, but not tonight. So yeah, lots of good stuff. Me personally, I'm voting for Aether Drift just because I think it would be kind of funny to do, because this is all like theme park stuff, so machines. Brothers War is a lot about building machines and constructs and stuff, and Aether Drift is about race cars and such. So I kind of think it would be kind of funny to do like a machine theme tonight. But like I say, if anyone would rather do Dragonstorm instead of Aether Drift, let me know. I'm always good for that. Well, that's the funny thing too, is the packs that they have, they don't price them super crazy either. Like the core 2021 packs, I was surprised some of the good stuff that's in those, and they're selling those for like 450. And I'm in Canada, so I mean, States price, I think that's like $3 a pack, maybe? Like insanely low for that one. Um, in terms of some of their other packs, I think the upper limit was the Commander Masters pack that I bought was $25 for 1 pack, but again, that's Canadian, so it would be like $15 American, which I think is relatively accurate. Yeah, okay, we'll make a theme of it. I will save the Tarkir Dragonstorm for another night because I think that they would be like I say, on Thursday we're going to be finishing up our actual current series of new set versus old set, where Tarkir Dragonstorm is tied 3-3 with Modern Horizons, the original Modern Horizons. So I'm kind of excited to see which of those packs will win on Thursday to take the series officially. Um, for those who haven't been following along and who are new to the channel, um, surprisingly, Modern Horizons came out of the gate and was basically looking to almost clean sweep the thing. And Dragonstorm has made a huge comeback in the last couple weeks. So pretty exciting to see that. Normally, when I do new set versus old set, I do 1 pack at a time of each set. And we stretch it out for like a month and a half to 2 months for the series, which is a best of 7. But this is just going to be a mini episode, and we're just doing this one more for fun than for actual like bragging rights per se. But anyways, I think what I'll do is I will go new set, old set, unset, and then I'll do old set, unset, new set, and then I will do um unset, new set, old set to finish off so that it's like not like one set is always leading per se off the round. So round one, we will kick off the Aether Boost and we'll start it off. I never actually cracked any Aether Drift packs when this set originally came out because I'm not super big on vehicles, but I really do want to build Transformers. So do you always do an unset? No, actually, this is going to be the first time we're actually doing a triple threat. Normally it's just new set versus old set in the series. But I have been opening a bunch of Unfinity lately because I want to build an Ultimate Gamer deck at some point. So I've been trying to pull stuff for that. And I also found out that these contain shocklands, which earlier this week I actually pulled one of those shocklands. So that was pretty cool. But in order to play like the Ultimate Gamer or any Unset deck, you need to have like, what was it? I think it's 10 sticker sheets that are unique and 20 unique attractions in order to play those legally, per se, if you were going to in Commander, for example. So we'll start with the artwork. This way around. Okay, that's kind of a neat design on that one. Sort of like anime style almost. Cool. Put that there for now. Awesome. Commons are first. I have to remember to go the opposite way with these packs because these are Japanese packs, if I remember correctly. Or no, I opened those yesterday and there was no pack trick. We're okay on that. Never mind. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 colorless artifact creature token with flying. That's decent. 3 and a blue for a 3/2. We'll put that okay for now. Basically, I go top pulls, like solid stuff that I can put into a deck is based. This is what we base the competition on for those who are new. So the stuff that I can actually play is top pulls. Mid pulls is stuff that is feasible to play in a specific deck. Things that I can't play go over here. Legendaries, of course, get special treatment because they are the best things to pull for Commander, since I'm a Commander player. And yeah, lands don't get counted in the rankings. 3 and a white for a 3/3 flying. Start your engines. If you have no speed, starts at 1, increases once each of your turns when an opponent loses life. Max speed, this thing gets +0/+1 and has vigilance. That's not bad. Becomes a 3/4 with flying and vigilance? Yeah, okay. I could deal with that for sure. Aether Drift, right? They had some stuff there. I apparently heard they had some stuff there. The only thing that I got with Aether Drift when it originally came out was I got the Zombie Commander deck because I really like zombies, and actually that deck is pretty slamming. So new set, new set should always have a good time once they added more different slots to a pack. You would think the new set would win more often than not, but it actually doesn't. Right now, I think it's actually even. I think new set has won 2 times in the series, and 2 series have been won by the old set so far. This is something we started this year on the channel, so it's only happened 4 times so far, with the current one being the fifth or the fourth. Kickoff celebrations, sorry. 1 in a red, start your engines. When this enchantment enters, you may discard a card and draw 2 cards. And then when you get max speed, you sacrifice this in creatures and vehicles you control gain haste until end of turn. That's okay. I will put that one mid. Because without unless you're playing a lot of tokens or something, that one's not going to be super helpful with the haste part at the end there. Starting column 3 for start your engines. Tap, add 1 mana of any color, and max speed. Sacrifice this when you tap it to draw 2 cards and discard. Do I want to actually do that at max speed? I think you still have the option of continuing to tap it for color of your choice. So I'm going to leave that as a top pick. Streaking Oil Gorger. 4 and a black for a 3/3 flying haste. Start your engines. Max speed. It has lifelink as well. Yeah, okay. It's pretty good, pretty good. Doing good so far with this pack. Beast Rider Vanguard. 1 and a green for a 2/2. Pay 4 and a green. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can reveal a permanent, put it in your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. That is a very costly ability, and the chances are, if you put this out early, somebody's probably going to target and remove it before you get a chance to actually do the ability. I'm going to make you a mid one. You're really good, but I think you're too good, to be honest. Guidelight Matrix is a 2. When it enters, draw a card. Pay 2, tap, target mount you control becomes saddled until end of turn. Or pay 2, tap, target vehicle you control becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. That I like. That I actually like a lot. That would work really well in Optimus Prime because All the Transformers are living metal creatures, so on my opponent's turns, they don't technically count as artifact creatures. They only count as artifacts. But with this, I could do that at instant speed and make one of them into an artifact vehicle, even though they're limited by their own abilities, because can't trumps can, if I remember correctly. Alcrian Armory, 3 and a white artifact. Creatures you control get +1, or no, +0 and +1, and have vigilance. Good start. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, choose up to one target mount or vehicle you control. Until end of turn, that permanent becomes nice. Okay, that's definitely cool. I have a green and white commander I want to build from Outlaws at Thunder Junction that specifically deals with mounts. And I think it does vehicles too, but I can't remember. But that's going to be an awesome card for that deck. So, really good stuff. Sky Crash, 1 and a red, instant, destroy target artifact. Cycle for red, it's pretty decent. I'm going to go mid though, just because it only hits artifacts. If it hit like artifacts and enchantments, I would definitely bump it to top. Elvish Refueler, 2 and a green. During your turn, as long as you haven't activated an exhaust ability this turn, you can activate exhaust abilities as though they haven't been activated. Huh. Okay, so if you've activated an exhaust ability before, woo, Snoop. Nothing super major yet. Alcurian Armory was probably one of my favorites, plus the Guy Matrix. Those are probably the best ones. Starting Column was okay too. Aside from that, though, everything else is, I would say, pretty decent. We haven't hit anything bad. That's the important part. And the artwork is kind of neat too. And right now we're looking at this guy, and I'm trying to figure out whether that means what I think it means. Because if it means what I think it means, that's pretty damn good. The trouble with exhaust abilities in Aether Drift is once you've used an exhaust ability once, you can't use it again. But if this card is what I'm saying what I think it is, you can activate exhaust abilities as though they haven't been activated. I think you can, let's say I've activated this exhaust ability before. As long as I don't do anybody else's exhaust ability that turn, I can redo this exhaust ability. And if I'm right, that's insane. Yep, we're still in the first pack. You did not miss much, Snoop. I'm going to put it top for now because I think it does what I think it does. And its exhaustibility is pretty cool because it puts a +1/+1 counter on itself. So it can keep boasting itself if the first ability works the way I think it does with the second ability. Whew, that's a lot of talking. Sabotage Strategist. 2 and a 2 blue for a 2/2. Flying Vigilance. Whenever one or more creatures attack, those creatures get -1/-0 until end of turn. Yeah. Pay 5 and 2 blue, put 3 +1/+1 counters on this creature. Oh, when they attack me. Okay, that's actually a lot better than I thought it was originally. I missed part of that text. Good pull, good pull. We got something cool coming off here. 1 second. What is this? Coal Stoke Gearhulk. 1, 2 black, 2 red. I like the artwork. It's apparently a mythic, which is awesome. Artifact creature construct. Menace, Death Touch 5/4. When it enters, put target creature with mana value 4 or less from a graveyard on the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it. That creature gains menace, death touch, and haste, and you have to exile it at the beginning of your next end step. Hmm. Okay, first off, the artwork is really cool. But second off, I think that's probably the pull of the pack. Of course, being a mythic, it should be the pull of the pack, but I'm just saying, in general, I think that is actually the best card in this pack. The only one that might be better is the elf that we pulled slightly before. I'm going to set this one aside as the potential top pull for that pack, though. It's definitely not the hollow. 3 and a red for a 3/4 with reach. Start your engines, and at max speed, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You can play that card this turn. I'm really not fond of impulse draw, so personally, I'm going to put that mid. And this land enters. When it enters, you gain a life, and you add red or white. Can't complain about that. I like the artwork on it, actually. That's kind of cool. I think I would like the artwork on this set a lot, but that's actually not bad. First pack definitely had some decent stuff in it for Aether Drift. Let's see if Brothers War can compete. Currently, the card to beat is Coalstoke Earhulk. Not sure what that's worth, but definitely cool artwork, Menace, Death Touch, and it's in some of the colors I love most, so can't complain about that. Although, as I said in this morning's video, I was surprised when I figured out that apparently green is actually the color I play most, not black, which is what I originally thought it would be. Cool, we got a Thopter. Always nice to have an extra Thopter. Well, we kind of spoiled something there by accident a little bit. Hopefully you guys didn't see it. Nice artwork on this one. Yeah, it was really anime-tron, although I think there were still some mounts. Yes, I'm pretty sure there's still some mounts in here too, because I think those went kind of with one or two of the different planes that they were on, but and getting Mythic on the first pack, why not be super celebrant of that? For sure. We got a Forest. Supply drop. When supply drop enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Pay 4, tap, sacrifice, draw a card. That's not bad. It does have flash, which is good, but still. I mean, if you're going to be paying the cost for that, chances are you're going to hopefully have a counter spell, which would be better. But we'll see. Combat Courier. 2, sacrifice this thing, draw a card, unearth for 1 blue. It's a 1 for a 1/1. I actually don't mind. You could probably pull off the drawing a card twice with that card. Evelyn Firebomb. 1 for an artifact with flash, and 7 tap, sacrifice, destroy target permanent. That is probably not going to work out super well to your favor unless you can flash in and pay the 7. Pardon me for taking my sip of my Coke there. I'm going to mid that one. I think it's too high a cost to do the second ability. Goblin Blast Runner. We are trying to build a Goblins deck, so it's always nice to get more of these. Gets +2/+0 and has Menace as long as you've sacrificed a permanent this turn. Okay. I'm pretty sure we can find a way to do that most games in red or black, which hopefully you'll be able to play red and black when you're doing goblins, in theory. Unleash Shell deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker and 2 damage to that permanent's controller. Instant speed, costs 5, 3 and 2 red. Uh, I mean, it's definitely worth it in the right deck. I'm going to top it, why not? 5 damage is a significant amount to deal to somebody. That's like an eighth of their health. Or no, that's to the creature. Still, you're going to wipe out most creatures with 5. Probably, unless it's something huge you're targeting. Sarenth Steelseeker. 1 and a green for a 1/2. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you can reveal it and put it in your hand. If you don't put that card in your hand, you can put it in your graveyard. Presuming you don't put it in your graveyard, it goes back to the top of your deck. I like this guy. Great Desert Prospector. We pulled this one the other day. He is not super great because although when he enters the battlefield, you get to create a Power Stone for each creature you control, which is insane. Power Stones are only useful in artifact decks. So I'm going to mid him. Horn Stoneseeker. 1 and a red for a lizard with menace. It's a 2/2. Gives you a Power Stone, and when it leaves the battlefield, it sacrifices the Power Stone. We pulled this guy the other day too. He's alright. It's kind of funny because he gives you the resource that you need to get rid of when he dies. I really don't know what happens if there is no Power Stone for you to sacrifice and he leaves the battlefield. I assume nothing happens, but it's just kind of worded weird. Sigil of Valor. 2 for artifact equipment. Whenever a equipped creature attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other creature you control. That is awesome, actually. Um, for those of you who missed this morning's video, we started the Commander Core Creator Challenge today. We have 20 days to build a commander deck using Molimo was the commander we selected. The mono green one with trample who gets power and toughness equal to the amount of lands you control. So this will be an insane artifact to add to that deck. um, so I'm pretty happy with that pull. Skystrike Officer, 2 and a blue, flying 2/3. Whenever attacks, create a colorless soldier artifact creature token. Decent. Tap 3 untapped artifacts you control, draw a card. I like that a lot, actually. That goes here. That is good. That is really, really good. Ooh, Argath, Sanctum of Nature. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary green creature. Tap stag green, pay 2 and 2 green, tap, create a 2/2 green bear creature token, then mill 3 cards. Hmm. And it melds with something, which I think I have the card that it melds with in another one of my decks. And yeah, it definitely is something that I already have. It melds into a really cool, super huge Titania, Gaia Incarnate. She has Vigilance, Reach, Trample, Haste. Her power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. And when she enters the battlefield, you return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And you can pay 3 in green, put 4+1/+1 counters on target land you control. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature token with haste, and it's still a land. Wow. A lot of stuff that card does. I'm really hoping we can pull the second half of this, actually, so that I have a second copy of this. Because the first copy, like I say, I can't remember which deck did I put that in. I think I put that in my Micro Tyrant deck. What, it's your Titania full shiny or half shiny? That is a good point. I'm not really sure if she's half shiny or full shiny. I'll have to recheck that deck later on. Um, in terms of hits, though, I think this one still has the better pack. I could be wrong. Sigil of Valor is definitely a really good hit, so don't get me wrong. I think that's actually better than the Arcane Sanctum or Argoth Sanctum of Nature, to be perfectly honest. I think this is the better hit of the pack. Because if you want to play a Voltron deck, for example, that is going to beef the crap out of whatever you're swinging with. Whoop, careful. Bump the camera. That would be bad if the phone goes down. Alright. Currently, I think round 1 is still, like I say, going to Aether Drift, though, but we will see what Infinity has. Dissatisfied customer, 2 and a black for a 2/1 flying haste. When this thing enters the battlefield, you roll a 6-sided die. If the result is 3 or less, you lose that much life. So, I mean, as long as the result is 4 or higher, you don't lose any life. That's not so bad. I don't like the fact that it only has 1, though, for toughness. So it's going to die pretty quick if something has reach or flying. Crooked Amphibonaut has flying as long as you control a sticker permanent. 4/3 for 5? It's not bad. Bar entry? Choose one. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Destroy target creature with any part of its head higher than the bar. Oh yeah, we pulled this one. I had a good laugh at it before. If it's outside of the artwork square, then you can destroy the creature, which is funny. Which is why it's also an acorn card, unfortunately, though. Deadbeat Attendant. This might be a new pull. 1 and a black for a 1/1. Enters the battlefield, open attraction. I don't think I had that one before. So that is the top pull currently, because anything that lets me open attractions is good for an attractions-based deck. Minotaur de Force, 1 in a red, haste, 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, you get a ticket, and then you can put a sticker on a non-land permanent you own. I do like that. That is pretty good too. Glitter Filter? No, Glitter Flitter. Sorry. 2 in a blue, flying, enters battlefield, you get a ticket, and then you get to put a sticker on non-land permanent you own, 2/2 for 3. That's a good one too. Mistakes were made. 1 in a green for an acorn card. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token with no for each fire extinguisher you can see from your seat. What do squirrels have to do with fire extinguishers? In hindsight, Chandra's incendiary experience should never have been built next to Auntie Grub's house of pitch. Huh. Alright. Complaints clerk. 3 and a white for a 3/3. He opens an attraction when he enters the battlefield. That's nice. And whenever you roll a 1, you get to create a 1/1 clown robot artifact. Okay, I like that. And it's a legal one. Octo-Opus. Octo-Opus. Sorry. 3 and 2 blue for an acorn card. Enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 blue octopus performer creature token named Contortionist with at the beginning of your upkeep, you may fold this token in half. It becomes a 2/2, then a 1/1, then half-half, and so on. Sacrifice this thing, draw a card, and an additional card for each of Contortionist folds. Huh. That is odd. Ooh, the big top. Add 1 mana of any color that appears on your top. Oh, that is cool. It's an acorn. Shit. But that is really cool. I actually like that a lot. Mobile clone. Using a mobile device, take a picture of target creature. That device enters the battlefield as a token that's a photocopy of the pictured creature. Nice. That's really funny. I love Unset because they're hilarious. We got a full art swamp, which is nice. We're still looking, of course, though, for the pain lands, or the shock lands, so this pack is not really a hit. Dart throw, though, that's a hit, because that's a new attraction for me. So visit, throw a card you own from outside the game onto the play area from a distance of 3 feet. If it touches dart throw, claim the prize. Create a 2/2 pink teddy bear creature token. No, 2 of those, sorry, and then sacrifice this and open another attraction. And Bounce Chamber, that's also a new attraction. Nice. Visit, return creature you don't control with the lowest toughness among creatures you don't control to its owner's hand. Ooh, zombie employee? Cool. And I don't think I had that one before. Nice. Excellent. All pretty good. But first point of the night definitely goes to Aether Drift. I'm sorry, you can argue with me if you want, but I think Cole Stoke Gearhulk is probably worth a little bit of cash. I'm not going to say a lot. I'd say it's probably like a $5 card Canadian if I'm lucky. But it's still probably worth a little more than anything else I've pulled. And I think it's actually the better card compared to Sigil of Valor. Um, Unfinity, we didn't pull anything really worth competing against these two, I don't think, in that pack. So, yeah, that would be round 1. Let's see what round 2 has for us. Starting with the Brothers War. Zombie tokens are so much fun. The Brothers War packs are the hardest ones to open. My god. Forgive me. I know, that was horrible to watch. But I don't know what the hell they did to glue those ones together. I've opened older packs in Brothers War, and I've opened newer packs in Brothers War, and I swear to goodness, these are the toughest ones in Magic. And it could just be the set boosters. I've never actually opened a draft booster from these ones yet. We don't have a token, which means we might have a list card, which is cool. And we have a really nice art card here. I love all these older, like, graphic design ones, like, if you're an engineer or something. Those are really cool pulls. Forest. Fog of War. That's an alright pull. We've been over this one before. I love the amount of life you gain. I don't like the fact that you have to make sure that the creatures you're being hit by have power 3 or less for you to prevent the damage. You Going to save yourself likely just by gaining all the life ahead of time before the damage goes through, but you're still going to lose a bunch of that life that you gained. So, Sentinel Stalwart, it's still probably the best pull though, for at least right now. Tap this to tap an untapped artifact or creature, and then you can add 1 mana of any color. That's a lot of hoops to jump through for just 1 mana of any color. It's a 1/1 for 1, but yeah. Raise to the ground, this spell can't be countered. Destroy target artifact. If its mana value is 1 or less, you get to draw a card. It's not bad. Phalanx Vanguard. 1 and a white, Vigilance, 2/2. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. That could be decent in the right deck. Reconstructed Thopter, 3 for 2/1 with flying and unearth 2. Not as good. Ooh, Mishra, Excavation Prodigy. Prodigy. Did we pull this one the other day? We might have. We definitely pulled a Prodigy of some sort. Haste. Pay 1, tap, discard a card, draw a card, 2/1. Whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, you get to add 2 red to your mana pool, but it only gets triggered once per turn. Still, definitely the best hit so far in this pack. Symmetry Matrix, 4 for whenever a creature with power equal to its toughness enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 if you do draw a card. That is a very specific ability for a very specific deck that you would have. That would be an interesting challenge to build, actually. I wonder what legendary you could make has all the colors you would need and has power and toughness equal to each other so that you could actually build a deck around that. Could be fun. We got a Slicer Hide Muscle! Yes! It's another Transformer! Boom, boom, boom. And this one will go with Optimus. So, bonus there. He has double strike and haste. He's a 4 and a red for a 3/4. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of Slicer until end of turn. If you do, untap Slicer, goad it. It can't be sacrificed this turn. If you don't, convert it. Okay, so for those who don't know, I absolutely despise goad, but in this one specific instance, I would play this card. It is one of 2 specific instances where I will let that slide. This one because it is a Transformer and I love Transformers. It is one of my absolute favorite cartoon shows from my childhood. Um, I watched the original show when I was a kid, and I was super into Beast Wars in like my early teenage years, I think is when that one came out. It might have been a little bit before that even. But I loved everything to do with Transformers. So this will definitely get played. And the other one is in the Lord of the Rings deck I streamed last weekend, because people complain about when you change precons, and I don't want to upgrade that precon necessarily. The other side of Slicer is Slicer High Speed Antagonist. Okay, so he's definitely a Predacon. First strike haste, whenever he deals combat damage to a player, convert it at the end of combat. That makes sense. He needs 3/2 on this side. Is he 3/2 on the other side too? 3/4. Okay. Still, definitely the hit of the pack. Jaloon Tome. Shoot, tap, draw a card, and discard a card. Okay, that's not bad. Mishra's Command. Damn, this pack is fire, guys. Second round is definitely going to Brothers War, it looks like. Choose target. Choose 2. Pay X in red. Choose target player. That player may discard up to X cards, then they draw a card for each card they discard this way. Or, the spell deals X damage to target creature. Or, the spell deals X damage to target planeswalker. Or, target creature gets +X+0 and gains haste until end of turn. And you get to pick 2 of those. Solid. Man. There's another legendary. That's the one we pulled the other day, but we didn't pull a hollow one the first time. Sick! We pulled 3 legendaries in one pack, guys. That is insane. And an Outlaw's Merriment. 1 red and 2 white. This is the list card. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose 1 at random. Create a red, white, and white creature token with those characteristics. You're either creating a 3/1 human warrior with trample and haste, a 2/1 human cleric with lifelink and haste, or a 1/2 human rogue with haste, and when it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. And you pick one of those at random each turn. That is freaking nuts. Okay, I mean, we're gonna open the packs for, posterity's sake, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we can definitely say that this pack goes to, or this round goes to the Brothers War. Steve's already put up the points. Alright, Unfinity. See if you have any chance. Flash, 2/1, Acorn card for 1 and a blue. Focused Funambulist? Okay. As he enters the battlefield, you may put an art sticker on the empty side of the balancing pole. Huh. When you do, ask a person outside the game, does this look balanced? If they say yes, you can tap or untap target creature. That is weird. Okay, so there's this little guy over on this side of the artwork, and you have to put something on the other side of the artwork that balances out so that they look even. Hmm. Now you see me, 1 and a white for an acorn instant. Exile target creature you control and return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with X+1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of mirrors on the walls you can see from your seat. Line Cutter, 3 and a black. This one's legal, 3/4. When he enters the battlefield, you roll to visit your attractions. Alright. Blorbian Buddy. Green for a 1/1 trample. Pay green, tap, you get a ticket. That one's definitely going in a deck. Art Appreciation. 1 and a red for an acorn. Put an art sticker on non-land permanent you own. Then ask a person outside the game to rate its new art on a scale from 1 to 5, where 5 is the best. When they rate the art, up to that many target creatures can't block this turn. You never know, you could pull an Anointed Procession from the Aether Drift pack. That is true. Aether Drift could surprise me and give me something huge. I mean, this pack could even surprise me and give me something huge. Like I say, I mean, in the response video I did the other day, we got a Shockland. I'm not gonna say which one it was, but we got a Shockland. And it was worth like 20 some odd, or no, I think it's actually 30 some odd Canadian dollars. Like, it was quite good. Decisions. 3 and a blue for an acorn. Reveal the top 3 cards of your library, then choose a consonant. And Y counts in this case. Put each card that has the letter you chose in the first word of its name from among them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. No, in any order. That's nice. Autumn Wheel Acrobats. 3 in a green for 3/2. Whenever you roll a 1 or a 2, put that many +1/+1 counters on this thing. Pay 2 in a green, roll a 6-sided die. Nice. I need a few more cards that let me roll 6-sided dice, actually, because my Goblins deck, I kind of want to include an Unset card, so it's the legendary Space Goblin one. So if I do include that, I need to include some other stuff. And apparently we got another Goblin. Nice. 1 in a red for 2/1. Whenever you place a sticker, create a treasure token. If it's an art sticker, you get to create 2 treasure tokens. Nice. Ooh, Monoxa, Midway Manager. We pulled a second copy of her. And she's a legal one, so she can go into one of my other decks when I decide to eventually build Unset stuff too. Whenever you roll 3, she gets First Strike. Whenever you roll 4 or higher, she gets Menace. Whenever you roll 5 or higher, she gets Lifelink. And you pay 6 to roll a 6-sided die. Costs a lot to use her ability, but I mean, there's lots of other stuff there that's going to let you roll stuff too in Unsets, so. Icing Manipulator, 1 and a green. Each +1/+1 counter you control is also a food token. Pay 3 and a green, roll 2 6-sided dice. For each odd result, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature of your choice. It is an acorn card, unfortunately, but that one is really funny. Surprise Party! Acorn card, 2 and a white. When it enters the battlefield, yell Surprise! And put onto the battlefield any number of printed clown robot tokens that aren't touching each other that you hid on the battlefield before you cast Surprise Party. and that weren't spotted by an opponent before you cast Surprise Party. As long as the enchantment stays in play, all your creatures that are robots get +1/+0 and have vigilance. Enough said? Ooh, pretty forest. Not what we're looking for, but still pretty. Spinny Ride. I think I had this one before. Visit tap target creature in opponent control. Maybe. Maybe not. Balloon Stand? Choose one. Create a 1/1 red balloon creature token with flying. Sacrifice a balloon. If you do, target creature gets. I don't think I had that one before either. Nice. And we got a balloon, which is good. And. Ooh, this might be the best art sticker so far. Or name sticker so far. Delusionary. EUIS. Oh, we finally got a art sticker that or a name sticker that has all 6 vowels. Some of the uncards get me good. I know, right? Aren't they hilarious? All right. Well, definitely Unset or Unfinity did not compete with the Brothers War. Can Aether Drift? And then we will open our last 3 packs, and we will see which set comes out on top. I honestly thought Unfinity might be an interesting competitor in this, but oh well. And if it came to a 3-week tie, I had no way to determine who would win except by vote or best card of the night. Elephant token, an insect token. I'll take that. Love me some elephants. Siphon Fuel. 4 and a black. Target creature gets -6/-6 until end of turn and you gain 2 life. That's an expensive instant, but it's a decent instant. I will definitely play that probably in a deck. Silken Strength. 1 and a green. Flash. Enchant creature or vehicle. Untap enchanted permanent when it enters. An enchanted permanent gets +1/+2 and has reach. Nice. Infinity doesn't stand a chance if you start opening Transformers. That is fair. That is fair, Appa. Appa, sorry. I can't believe I said Appa. Thinking of the band. Abba! Skystreak and Engineer, 1 and a blue. Flying, 1/3. With Exhaust, 4 and a blue, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Eh, that's okay. Bright Field Glider. Vigilance. When this creature attacks while saddled, it gets +1/+2 and gains flying until end of turn. Nice. That is definitely a good pull. I like that. Lightning Strike. Classic card. Decent artwork. I'm okay with that one. Stall Out. 1 and a blue for a sorcery. Tap target creature or vehicle, then put 3 stun counters on it. And you can cycle it for 2. Pretty sure you're not going to cycle this one, though. This is pretty damn good. Still think the Glider is my favorite card in this pack so far, though. Mutant Surveyor. Start your engines. 2. This creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It's a 2/3 for 2 and a black, and then it also has max speed, pay 3, exile it from your graveyard, draw a card. And the last ability sucks, but the rest of it's pretty decent. I'll put you up there. Cloudspire Cycle. Artifact Vehicle, 2/3. 2 red and white. Flying. When this thing enters, distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 other target vehicles and or creatures you control. Career 1. Great vehicle for Optimus Prime deck when I build it eventually. Air Response Unit. Also a vehicle. Flying Vigilance, Career 1. 3/3 for 2 and a white. Damn good card. Slick Intimidator. No, Slick Imitator, sorry. 1 and a blue for 1/3, start your engines, max speed, pay 1, sacrifice it, copy target spell you control. You can choose new targets for the copy. I don't really like that. Blue, you're not really wanting to sacrifice things very often, I don't find. Fang Guardian, 3 and a green for an 8 druid 4/2 flash. When it enters, another target creature or vehicle you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. I mean, if he had better toughness, I would definitely say yes, but probably not going to play that. Lightcraft Engine. As this vehicle enters, choose a creature type. Vehicle creatures you control are the chosen creature type in addition to their other types. Each creature you control of the chosen type other than this vehicle gets +1/+1 and incur 3. That's pretty decent. Not good enough to compete with that, but pretty decent. Snoop. Infinity, you need to hit Saw in Half, Comet Planeswalker, or Shocklands. We already got the Comet Planeswalker in an earlier video, and we got one Shockland. I don't know whether I've ever seen Saw in Half yet in any of my polls, though. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a permanent with mana value 1. It's 2 and a blue, but it could just cost 1 blue. Turn target creature or vehicle an opponent controls to its owner's hand and then draw a card. But it's sorcery speed, so meh. And a forest, which is full art and has the little hands on it of the guy driving. Bad. Kind of like the artwork. But definitely not really competitive pack by any means next to that. So, yeah. Round 1 went to Aether Drift. Round 2 went to Brothers War. And now we start round 3. We got Unfinity kicking it off, and then we'll go to Aether Drift and then Brothers War. So far, the pack that's kicked it off each round is the pack that got the point. Maybe we will pull a Saw in Half or a Shockland now. Alright, here we go. Wizards of the Plank. Wizards of the Coast? Nope. I'm going with Wizards of the... What the heck was the word I had in the last sticker? Where is the last sticker sheet? There it is. Wizards of the Delusionary. That's what I'm going for. Wizards of the Delusionary. Alright, so when this creature enters the battlefield, you put a name sticker on it, and then you look at the top X cards of your library where X is the number of unique vowels on that sticker. One of those cards in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So this is where I was talking about, we've been trying to pull a name sticker that actually would get you 6 hits on whatever you put it onto. And I finally got it tonight with the Delusionary. Up until now, we've only had at best 5. So, pretty good. And yes, very accurate, eh? A good day to pie. I love that card. Such a great meme. Pay 1 and a white, tap 2 target, up to 2 target creatures. Whenever you put a name sticker on a creature, you may return a good day to pie from your graveyard to your hand. It's actually not an acorn card either, which is insane. Rat in the Hat. This one is, though. 1 black for 1/2, tap, sacrifice Rat in the Hat. Until end of turn, you may cast target creature card that has a hat from your graveyard. Motion Sickness. 3 and a blue. Enchant creature. Enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature does an untap during its controller's untap step. Whenever you visit an attraction, you can attach this thing to target tapped creature. That's pretty cool. You can move this around to other people's stuff every time you visit an attraction. So you can actually use this as like a political tool to negotiate with people so they don't mess with you, because if they mess with you, you could put this on one of their things and mess with them. I like that actually. Carnival Carnivore. 5 and a black for 4/6. It is actually legal. Alien Crab Horror. Death Touch. Whenever this enters the battlefield, you get a ticket, and then you can put a sticker on a non-land permanent you own. Nice. Coming attraction, 2 and a green. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Open an attraction. Nice. Ah, okay, we had trouble with this the other day, and I forgot I wanted to look this up. I'm gonna go with AR Wolf's Advantage, because I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to pronounce double A at the beginning of the word there. Creatures you control get +2/+0 and gain Alpha Strike until end of turn. Where basically, if a creature has, in its name, the first letter of its name is ahead of the name of the creature it's attacking, or that's blocking it, sorry, then it gets first strike. which is ridiculously stupid, but that's how that works. We got another Octo Opus. Blank, blank, blank trespasser. One in a blue, 2/1. When this creature enters the battlefield, you can put a name sticker on it. You can pay 3 in a blue. This creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each name sticker on it, and it can't be blocked this turn. Hmm. I mean, you gotta get a bunch of names on there to make it really good, but essentially you can make this into like a 5/1 that can't be blocked, which is not bad. And it's actually legal. Trigger happy. Unfortunately, not legal. Acorn card, 1 in a red for an instant. Choose a triggered ability of target permanent. It triggers, and you control that ability. Now, that's what I think really should be a legal card. I made this argument the other day. There's a lot of nonsense in Magic these days because of like power creep and how much they've increased different things what cards can do. I really think this one could have been legal. I think taking control of somebody else's like planeswalker ability or something like that for one turn, I think that's actually pretty good. The only thing I think might change about this card is maybe increase its cost so that because what you're getting out of it is insane for what you're actually paying for it. Ooh, we got another legendary. This one isn't Acorn, unfortunately. 3 and 2 white, Solaflora Intergalactic Icon. Auras and equipment you control attached to her affect other creatures you control as though those auras and equipment were attached to them. That is messed up. That is absolutely messed up. Everything you put on this card applies to everything on your board. Counters and stickers on this thing affect other creatures you control as though those counters and stickers were... What the hell is this creature? Oh, I want to build a commander around this. That is so cool. It's not legal, but that is so cool. That is definitely the hit of the pack. We got an island, so yeah, it is the hit on the pack, unfortunately. But I mean, I like that one a lot, actually. Scroll stack? Do I have this one? Visit. You have 5 seconds to stack dice on top. No, I definitely don't have that one. If I did, I would have remembered that. Okay. And bumper cards. Target creature must be blocked this turn if able. Nice. Clown robot. And Knight, Bushwag, Ringmaster. Pretty sure I don't have this one either. That makes 3 new sticker sheets and 6 new attractions for us tonight. So we definitely did good with Unfinity, at least in terms of stuff that we can use to build our Unfinity decks. Because, like I say, no matter how many Unfinity decks I build, all of those decks will need to have, well, my plan is for them all to share the same attractions deck and the same sticker sheets. But in order to have at least one deck viable, I would need, like I say, 20 attractions and 10 sticker sheets that are unique. So that is main reason why I keep pulling Infinity. The rest of it's just for the fun of it and a laugh. I don't think this pack pulled through. Unfortunately, I don't think that we will be seeing Infinity get any points tonight, which means we will have a clear winner at least. But I could be wrong. Maybe these two packs will completely suck, and that will be actually the best pull out of the last round. That is really fun. If it was a legal card, that would probably be the best pull. But there's no way they could make that a legal card with what it's all doing. We got a zombie token and a pilot. Nice. It's always good to have extra pilot tokens, because I don't have a lot of those. King Buccaneer, 2 in a blue, 2/3, Vigilance, Octopus Pirate. Exhaust, 1 in a blue, draw a card, and discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. That's a lot of good stuff on one card. Daring Mechanic. This is the one that a lot of people made memes and jokes about when they first saw the artwork because it looks like Super Mario. 2 in a white for a 3/3 with 3 in a white, put a +1/+1 counter on target mount or vehicle. I mean, I'll definitely play it, but it's funny. Goblin Surveyor. 2 in a red for a 3/2, trample, start your engines. And max speed 3, exile this card from a graveyard. Okay, we looked at that one already. The last ability kind of is Eh. But I mean, two in a red for a 3/2 with trample, that's okay. Grim Javelineer, two in a black 3/2. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When that creature dies this turn, surveil one. Hmm, that's alright. That's decent in a mono black deck for sure. Still think the mechanic might be the better pull though. Actually, no, the better pull is definitely the Keen Buccaneer. I don't know what I'm saying. Two and a blue for a 2/3 with vigilance that you can put a +1/+1 counter on and get card value out of. Pretty solid. Hazard of the Dunes. Three and a green for a 4/4 with trample and reach and exhaust. Six and a blue, put three +1/+. For six and a green, he becomes a 7/7. That's pretty solid. Market. Land enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color. Tap, add one mana of the chosen color, and cycling three. It's an okay land. Not the best ever, but it's okay. Guidelight Matrix. I am happy to have pulled a second copy of that for sure. Because now we can put one in Optimus Prime, and I can put one in the commander deck that I want to build that's green and white with mounts. So nice. Ooh, legendary. Kalorna? Kalorna? Coral Tyrant. One in a blue for a 0/8 octopus. With just flavor text. That might be the lamest legendary I've ever pulled, but at the same time, it is definitely one of the toughest. Rocketeer Boost Buggy. Ooh, this looks good though. Green and a red for a 3/2. Whenever this vehicle attacks, create a treasure token. Exhaust 3. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Nice. And crew 1. I like that, actually, a lot. Um, love vanilla legendaries. Peace Setter Paragon. Two in a red for a 2/3. Exhaust. Two in a red, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it gains double strike until end of turn. I mean, it's a pilot, which is cool for, artifact decks and such. I'm gonna put you no. Back on track. Four and a black. Return target creature or vehicle from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a 1/1 colorless pirate creature token. With this token settles, mounts, and crews vehicles as though its power were 2 or greater. Hmm. Alright, I like that. Spectacular Pileup. 3 and 2 white. All creatures and vehicles lose indestructible until end of turn. Then destroy all creatures and vehicles. Shit. That's a powerful sorcery. That's the best pull so far, I think. Risky Shortcut. Two and a black, draw two cards. Each player loses 2 life. I do like that, but I mean, I've liked this pack a lot, actually, for the silliness of the octopus. Everything else here has been decently playable. Life gives me, or the land gives me life, and we already saw the token. So, I mean, it's interesting. What do you guys think as we head into this? Quick predictions. Does Brothers War take this, or did Aether Drift just pull it off with that board wipe? Combined with what would I say the second best card is? Probably the Rocketeer Boost Buggy. I mean, getting treasure tokens constantly, and you only need to pay 2 mana again to play, that's pretty damn good. So, Aether Drift or Brothers War? What do you think, Snoop? Who's going to win this? Brothers War is the call. Alright, let's see it. Last pack of the night. I apologize for going a little early on this stream, but I wanted to catch the tail end of another streamer that I like. Shouting out to um, TRO, who is doing another Resident Evil stream tonight. I think he's doing Resident Evil 3 right now. And yeah, he is pretty awesome. I enjoy a lot of his content. And he is live streaming currently. He started at 8. So as soon as I'm done here, that is where I'm going next. Got a Power Stone token. Not bad, not bad. Art card is. Ooh, another blueprint. That's a good sign. The last blueprint led us to a Transformer. Maybe we can get lucky twice. If Resident Evil is your favorite game series, you definitely want to check out TRO. He's hilarious, and the majority of the time that I've seen him stream, it's either Resident Evil or one of the Hitman games that he's playing. So always some fun content there. The channel is literally capital T hyphen capitals R and O. That's it. Should be able to find him easy enough because he's live right now once we're out of here. Tuna green for a 3/3. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, this thing gets +1/+0 until end of turn. That's okay. Ooh, the Evolving Wilds has some pretty nice artwork on it. The land is burning. Kind of like that, actually. There's a certain beauty in destruction. Some will consider this war a masterpiece. Ashnod. Yeah, okay. Even the flavor text, I like that. Burrowing Razor Maw. 2 and a green for 4/2. When it dies, mill 4 cards. I mean, in the right deck, that's going to be a hit, but the rest of the time, that's going to kind of suck. Trench Stalker. 4 and a black for Beast Horror. That, to be perfectly honest, based on the artwork, I thought was going to be a bat. But apparently it's a Beast Horror. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, this thing has Death Touch and Lifelink. And it's a 4/5. That's decent. Defabricate is a good card. Instant speed, 1 and a blue. You can counter target artifact or enchantment. And if it's countered, you exile that thing instead of putting it in the graveyard. Or you counter target artifact, not artifact, counter target activated or triggered ability. So just a solid all around hits everything you possibly need to card. I have the Resident Evil 4 Collector Edition PS2 Chainsaw Controller. Ooh, I want to see a picture of that sometime, Snoop. That would be really cool to see. I didn't even know such a thing existed. That is amazing. Defabricate is definitely the hit of the pack so far. Slagstone Refinery. 4 for an artifact that says, when this thing or another non-token artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, or is put into exile from the battlefield, you make a Power Stone token. Again, I mean, if you want to play artifacts, this is definitely a huge hit for you, but if you're not playing artifacts, kind of a completely useless card. Forging the Anchor, 2 and a blue. Look at the top 5 cards of your library and reveal any number of artifact creatures from among artifact cards, from among them, and put the reveal cards in your hand. Then you put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's a decent sorcery. I like that. Still think Defabricate's the better card, but I like that. Battery Bearer. 2 green and blue. Creatures you control have tap, add. Okay, we pulled this the other day. He turns all your creatures into Power Stones, which is hilarious. And whenever you cast an artifact spell with mana value 6 or greater, you get to draw a card. He has a really good one, except for the fact that he's green and blue, which aren't the best card colors for artifacts. Blue is definitely great for artifacts, don't get me wrong. Green, I mean, you're looking at food tokens for sure a lot of the time. Other than that, I don't think green does a lot of artifact stuff, though. But still, decent enough card. Ornithopter, in the old school. I've pulled like 3 of these now, though, so I don't need any more necessarily. Legions to Ashes. 1 and a black and a white. Exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls, and all tokens that player controls with the same name as that permanent. Whew. Okay. That could be dangerous. You play that at the right time, you basically wipe out an entire person's token board. I like that. And our hollow is a Thopter Architect. 3 and a white. Whenever another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, this thing gets flying until end of turn. Eh, not the best hollow. I don't know, guys. I mean, Defabricate's an insanely good card. Legions of Ashes is pretty good. Forging the Anchor's alright, and the Battery Guy. I would say the rest of the pack was decent, but not great. Which one do you think won, though? I don't know. I'm leaning towards Aether Drift, to be honest. I think you got your back on track, gets you a card back from the graveyard. The buggy is pretty good. The board wipe is solid because it gets rid of indestructible before it goes off. And the shortcut makes everybody lose 2 life, but you're the only one who gets to draw 2 cards. I think Aether Drift won this, guys. What do you think? Tough one. Last pack is kind of a tie, but the Transformers card just clears. Hmm. That is a fair point. That is absolutely a fair point. You know what? I think I'm leaning towards what Snoop is saying. For those who are just kind of hanging out in the chat but not actually chatting, whether there's anybody else around, I think Snoop's right. I think the last pack was fairly even, which means we have to go to best card of the night. And oh, you want to give it to Aether Drift? Last pack is a tie, but the Transformer card just clears. But then you think Aether Drift won because the Vanilla Octopus gets you? I I really don't know. Appa goes with the nod. All right. If you guys think Aether Drift took it, then you know what? I'm gonna go with whatever the chat decides on this one. Personally, I could lean towards the idea of it being a tie for the third pack, which means we would go to the best card of the night is definitely Slicer. But if you think Aether Drift had the better pack out of the two in the last one, then Aether Drift definitely won the set because I mean the buggy is like I say an insanely cool card. I do like the board wipe, and the back on track is a good pull. Risky shortcut's great. Guy-Light Matrix is pretty good for having a second copy since I need it for an artifact deck and for a mount deck that I want to build. And then you guys love the Octopus. But I mean, me personally, I think the Defabricate is probably just as good. Like, I would say these two are equivalent. I would say. Actually, no, I would say these two are equivalent. Because in this case, you're exiling somebody's board if they're all tokens. And in this case, you're getting rid of all the creatures and vehicles. On the other hand, you got Defabricate, which is insanely good. We got the Buggy. What did the Octopus do to the Legendary? It's just legendary because it's so freaking amazing with the big butt. Look at that butt. 0-8. Every one of those tentacles gives a toughness to this creature. For centuries, she grew in her benthic home, safe from Moraganda's moonfalls, feeding on the raw ley lines that run below the water. When she emerged, the coral depths she called home came with her. Hmm. I do like the flavor text. I don't know. I think this one's too close to call. And in that case, it has to go to the Transformer card. That's my call, but I am still waiting to see what you guys think. Last pack definitely kind of a tie. Felt as we were going through it. Aether wound up a little better, but not enough to matter. They were both just meh. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Aether Drift, yeah, sure, you might say there's another card in there or two that's better, but on the other hand, Aether Drift is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15 cards per pack. And the other thing you always have to keep in mind when you're doing older packs is 12 cards per pack. So, I mean, a 15 card pack versus a 12 card pack, you would hope the 15 card pack has a little bit more. I agree with Appa. I don't, or Appa, sorry. My God, pronunciation tonight is bad. I agree with Appa. I don't think Aether Drift had enough of a good pack for those 3 extra cards to have made a difference fairly against the Brothers War Pack. I think it was a tie. So in that case, I'm going to give it to the Transformer. All right. Everybody's going with the Transformer so far in the chat. I agree with you guys. That's it. We're going to call it there. I am giving this one to the Transformer. That said, definite hits of the night for sure are the Cole Stoke Gear Hulk, the Transformer. I think this one might actually be worth something, even though it's an unset card. It's not a playable card. And we got two other legendary pulls, which are pretty cool. Plus, this Elvish guy is insane. And I think the Outlaws Merriment is a really cool list card. So, nice video all around. Great live stream with everybody. I had a lot of fun, guys. I hope you guys did too. I sure would hope that, Ella. Yeah, I'm gonna cap it off there because, like I say, I want to get over to the other live stream. But it was really great hanging out with you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in for this shorter stream tonight. Uh, I expect that I'm not going to be able to do another one of these next weekend because A, I'm visiting my best friend, and B, I figure my dad's going to be back easily by Monday or Tuesday. So, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please check out all the content on the channel, subscribe, like all that good stuff. And I'm going to cap off by leaving you with a shot of the beautiful one, the star of our channel. All right. Much love to you all from Kaiba and I to you. Take care. Have a great night.